Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Muslim brothers and sisters, welcome to Abuyaasir Institute and welcome to this Tajweed program, which we are about to start right now, inshallah. This is the first day of this program, and it's going to be a trial version, which means we will continue to do this for somewhere between 1 month, or which I would say 4 weeks to 8 weeks, to see how people like it and to understand what area we need to focus more. And inshallah, after that, we make some few adjustments. Our hope and goal is to keep this class continuous for a long period of time. But to make the adjustment would take, the first 4 weeks to 8 weeks. But inshallah, our hope is to continue maybe until we finish the entire Quran. But at the same time, we would like to let you know that we have the plan to, in the future, to, open a separate class, which would be a little bit more advanced and more special than this particular type or particular style. So based on the number of people and based on, your comments, based on your requests, that will help us to decide or to figure out exactly which route we're going to take, inshallah. So without further ado, without taking too much of your time, inshallah, I would allow Sister Neveen to take over so that she can give you more insight out of how the program is laid out. And the way we plan this is she would be speaking anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes in the first place. And after that, we would allow you to ask questions based on what she discussed so far. So I highly recommend, if possible, make some notes, whether you write it down, whether you type it, whether you keep it in your mind, so that you can ask a proper question that has to do with what she discussed. And after that, we give her a few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes to answer those questions. And then after that, she'll continue with the same, with the class. And towards the end, I might come up and do some recaps, inshallah. And after that, I'll close the class. So this is just a trial. We're going to see how it works. And, we're going to make adjustment along the way, inshallah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help Sister Neveen to deliver the best teaching possible, inshallah. Jazaakumullahu khair. My name is Muhammad Bashir. I'm the founder of Abuyaasir Institute. As you see in the flyer, we already spread it out. So my final request at this point is, inshallah, do your best after this class to go check our YouTube channel, Abuyaasir Institute English. We also have Abuyaasir Institute Hausa for those who speak Hausa. At the same time, don't forget to check our Sister Neveen website, which inshallah you can find in the channel. Also, she would explain that in more detail. Also, she has some books. You can visit Amazon to purchase this book, inshallah. So with that, Sister Neveen, inshallah, you can take over from here. Jazaakumullahu khair.
My name is Neveen Asad, and I'm started teaching Tajweed since 2010. So alhamdulillah, this time gave me experience to know how to deal with the student, what to introduce for them. At the same time, I want to pass this ilm as it is. So most of the terminology will be used in this course will be in Arabic language. We could translate or simplify it to understand what does this mean, but no equivalent in English. So when I said tafkheem and translated too heavy, this is not the same meaning. So tafkheem is something, or like you give a full mouth sound or something, but it's not heavy, the literal meaning for this word. So we try to make it like easy or clear to the student, but try to memorize the words that I'm saying in Arabic. This is the best way to learn the rules, as you know, this ilm in Arabic. So as the people study now medicine, even in Egypt, they study all the terminology or the idiom in English, because there's science like this. So the same thing for Tajweed, it's better to understand all these rules in Arabic. I choose, of course, the Fatiha, because the Fatiha, the most important surah in Quran. Without Fatiha, your salah is not valid. We can't read it with the wrong way, so we have to learn how to read each ayah with a proper way. Then the way that we learn the rules due to the ayah we are reading. So I focused on the rules that we will learn from Al-Fatiha. Of course, there is other rules, and the syllabus that I designed for the book depends on 8 surah. From these 8 surah, you covered all the rules that you need in reading. So since you covered this 8 surah and memorize the rules in these 8 surah, you could open any page and apply the same rules in Quran from any page. So we start with Surah Al-Fatiha, and this is what we learn, or the rules we were learning from Surah Al-Fatiha. So the first, of course, we will learn how to do the Tafkheem and Tarqiq. What is the meaning of this, or what is the meaning of heavy or light? Sometimes they call it dark or instead of heavy. But in Arabic, Tafkheem or Mufakham, the letter is Mufakham. This is characteristic in the letter, means you have to pronounce it with full mouth. And Tarqiq means you don't, the opposite of Tafkheem. And we will learn how to do this. Also, we will learn the different types of mad. Mad means elongating the letters. When you stretch the sound like the long vowels, you stretch it with these mad letters. So we have basic mad, or the mad tabi'i, the natural one. And we have the 9 different types of mad in the whole Quran. The mad tabi'i, the original one, and the other types of mad derived from this type of mad. So from Surah Al-Fatiha, we will focus in 2 types, the mad tabi'i, the basic one, with something called mad arid lis-sukun and mad lazim. The 3 will be exist in Surah Al-Fatiha. Also, we will discuss the rules of Nun Sakin and Tanween. This is from very important rules. If you have any background, you will find many website or any Tajweed classes must discuss these rules. No page in Quran without rules of Nun Sakin and Tanween. So we will learn the 4 rules of Nun Sakin and Tanween, and whatever we discuss, you have to memorize it. If this, someone feel it's difficult as a beginner, at the beginning, it's difficult. But since you memorize it, no more rules when we finish this 8 surahs. So it will be the same rules. So maybe at the beginning you feel there is lots of information, but after a while, inshallah, the same information will be the same. You will repeat it until you could say it normally and easily. I have even kids who, or even during this time, I have many students at the beginning, they were shocked with the name of these things. And then, alhamdulillah, after we finished and practicing, they could say it easily. Number 4, we will discuss the rules of Hamzatul Wasl. What is the meaning of Hamzatul Wasl and how to deal with it if we started the reading or if we read it in the middle of ayah. The rules of course, the definite articles, like the in English, we have 2 types of definite articles in Arabic, and something called nabr. Nabr means when you emphasize some letters or you press some letters in Quran. So before we start the Fatiha, of course, the Fatiha from important surah. So I said, let's discuss the different names of Fatiha. As you see, the Fatiha has 12 different names. And from each name, you could recognize how it's important and how it's beneficial. So we try to say the name quickly. I don't want to discuss them in details. Of course, each name has the hadith that said this name and why. Like the first one is called Salah. Salah, because the hadith Qudusi that Allah said قَسَّمْتُ الصَّلَاةَ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ عَبْدِي. So Salah, when he started the hadith and then he started Alhamdulillah, that means that the Salah here referring to Al-Fatiha. So from the name of Al-Fatiha, As-Salah. The second name is called Al-Hamd, Surah Al-Hamd, because it starts, of course, with the word Al-Hamd. Al-Asas means the base or the foundation. The Sab'a Mathani. Sab'a in Arabic means 7, and Mathani means 2, because we do it in each 2 rak'ah, and the ayat in the surah is 7. So that's why it's famous with this word, As-Sab'ul Mathani. Al-Qur'an Al-Azim, because it contains all the rules, or it's like the opening to the whole Quran. Even the next name is called Fatiha. Fatihatul Kitab, or the name Fatiha means the opening. So it's like the door to the whole Quran. It's also called Ummul Kitab. Means the mother. Ummul Kitab, Ummul Quran. الشافية. الشافية means it has cureness in itself. And of course, there is famous hadith when the companion do this surah only in one of the people or other tribe, and he was cured from snake bite or something. So Allah, the Prophet ﷺ told them that is الشافية, and how you know it has cureness like this. So even if you wanted to use it as it is like this, you could read it on water and drink this water. So it has really good cureness in Fatiha. It's ruqya also, so you could use it as ruqya. And al-wafiya and al-kafiya. If you also try to memorize it as a type of knowledge to know it and to teach it to your kids, this will be good. So this is the introduction to start this great surah, inshallah. So before, of course, we start the reading of the surah, we start with isti'adah. Means when you ask refuge from Allah, from the shaitan. The isti'adah, as we said, we drive the rules from the ayat itself. So this is the isti'adah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So what are the rules inside this isti'adah? As you see here, this alif with tiny sad on the top, this is what we call it Hamzatul Wasl. So to be able to understand how we pronounce each single letter in isti'adah, we will discuss what is this Hamzatul Wasl, or what is this alif with tiny sad on the top. The letter after it from the type of the lam wa ta'rif, or the definite articles. So we discussed the different types of definite articles in Arabic. The same thing with the ta. When we say minash shaytani, we don't say ta. Ta, this is like tarqiq sound, or like the letter ta. And ta is the tafkheem sound, means you pronounce the ta with full mouth. So we have to learn what is the tarqiq or tafkheem letters. They are 7, and we have to memorize them so we could read any heavy or light letters in Quran, because in Quran we can't read with the same tone. And reading with tafkheem and tarqiq, this is the only thing that gives beauty to the reading. If you hear the sheikh and you feel that why his reading is different from mine, you will find that he is focusing on this. The contrast between heavy and light gives beauty to the reading. And most of the mistaken reading that I found with most of the students, they can't differentiate between heavy or light. They make the reading like one tone. So that's why they feel the reading is not like the famous Qari. So to practice this and to be, your reading is really good, practice how to pronounce heavy or light, especially if they are next to each other. Then, of course, as you see here, the alif, this alif that has no sign after the ta, this is called the mad. Mad means elongating or lengthening. So we will learn the mad tabi'i, the basic one. Then the stopping on the last letter will make you stretch the ya, or stretch the jim 4 or 2, 4 or 6 count. So this called mad عارض للسكون. So all this, it's like we discuss all this from isti'adah. We cover as much as we could from this and practice how to read it. And then inshallah, if we have any question or we have time, so we could go further. Also, the word Allah has special rules, because the tafkheem and tarqiq in the word Allah only concern this lam and not the other lam in the whole Quran. The other lam in Quran is light.
I just have a quick question, sister, before you continue.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Yes.
So if I just want to make it clear, these 4 points you make: the rules of Hamzatul Wasl, the rule of definite article, the heavy and light, and also the mat. This is what you're going to focus for the following slide or for today's lesson. But what is the most ruling to for the beginner to learn within the isti'adah, or there might be possible of knowing something extra than that, but you just limit that to this one?
No, isti'adah already contains these 4 rules, and no rules is more important than other. I know that sometimes at the beginning the student feel that why I need to learn this complicated thing. And also the people, if they ask many questions online, Is it obligatory for me to learn the rules? Is it not important? I could read and I will get the rewards or the thawab. So the answer for this, that we have to differentiate between learning the name of these rules, this is fard kifaya, and learning how to read properly, even by listening and copying the sheikh, this is fardu ayn on each mu'min or is each Muslim. And to also say the difference between fard ayn or fard kifaya, fard ayn means each Muslim must read the Quran with a proper way. Don't say that I don't know Arabic, so it's okay for me to do mistakes. So Allah will forgive me. No, there is no excuse now because as we see the technology, the internet, so you could learn from your place. So it's easier than what they have done before. The companion and in the previous era, they was traveling miles, 100 miles to learn one ayah, to learn one hadith. So now there is no excuse. You could search online, you could watch many videos, you could attend any mosque or classes near you or even online. So no excuse. So when I said the easy way, I could read the ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Then you keep repeating after me, and this is what we used before. It's something called kutab. The sheikh read and the kids recite after him or repeat after him, but they don't know what they have done, why they didn't pronounce this lam, why they stretched the ya like this. So this is what we mean with fard ayn. You could read it like this, read it with a proper way and repeating with a good sheikh. This is fard ayn, to read the ayah properly. The fard kifaya means to learn that when we say rajim, this called mad arid lisukun. It's not obligatory. This is fard kifaya, means some people, if they do it, it will be good to protect this ilm, so they could pass it to other. But for me, from my opinion, of course, if you learn it, because in these days we do many courses in different fields and we study many difficult things more than this, but when we come to rules of tajweed, we said it's not important. No, it's important, and even if you memorize it, as even you put this intention that to protect this ilm and to pass it to other, you will get rewards for any effort you do to memorize this ilm. So it's really interesting. When I started, it was complicated to me because many think also I could speak Arabic, so it's not difficult for us. No, we didn't study all these rules in school. I never heard about it before I started the rules with a place when I wanted to dars or to teach my kid. And then I found the teacher explain this to the mothers. So it was shocked to me. It's like I hear a Chinese language. When she said qalqala, when she said these things, I never heard about it and I never read with this way. So at this moment, I found out that I have many things to learn, and I do nothing, even the way that I read the Quran, it's not right at all. It's not the way that the Quran was revealed. So in this point, I feel interested and have passion to learn more. Even I remember this day, I have my neighbor with me. When she heard these things, she think it's difficult and she stopped going there again. For me, no, I love it. I love to learn more, especially that concern the book of Allah. So we need to learn everything. Even we need another life to finish what's inside this book, and even we will never finish it from understanding or reading and everything. Okay, so if you could, if you really, because this field needs someone to be patient and to do it for Allah's sake, and you have this sincere desire inside your heart. So we will start to say the things. I already put a separate course for book one. It's a free online in my channel. So if you still have difficulty, you could repeat the video until you memorize it. I also advise this to my student. Watching the videos of rules or something is not like watching movie. You just watch it like this and you understand this step and then you let it go and that's it. No, to understand the rules, you listen as a teacher, try to explain what is inside the video. Even the way that I test my student is not to put just quizzes in the lesson. No, after we finish the book, I ask him to explain the book to me again as a teacher, So with this way, I make sure that he could explain each rules in the book. And if he struggled in something, I tell him, no, you have to do it like this. So when you practice the rules, practice as a teacher. This will make you more conscious and alert about the rules itself. Okay, and the rules need repeating. That's it. At the beginning, when the students say Alif Mad Tabi'i, he was suffering and said, this is difficult and I can't say it. But with repeating, they could say it now very quickly and easily. So nothing is impossible or difficult. Just keep repeating. The Quran need to repeat a lot. That's it. So let's start with the first rule of the Tafkheem and Tarqiq. We said al-hurufu. I hope, inshallah, if you really want to learn, and as a good student, you must have your own notes and your pencil or your pen and write down every word that I'm saying. That's what I was doing when I was learning. Where I learned in different places, different institute. Whenever I go somewhere, even if it's the lesson that I know it before, because of course every place or every different place has the rules from the beginning. So I start over again with the rules, but I write down after the teacher everything thing that the teacher saying. Okay, so let's start with al-huruf or al-ahruf. Of course, the harf in Arabic means the alphabet, the letter of alphabet, or it could have two different names. Alphabet, the alif, ba, ta, tha, this called the huruf or ahruf al-hija. The same time, we could use harf in the proposition. So when I see fi or in, like in English or something, the proposition is called also huruf. But when we started the rules here, we meant the huruf al-hija or the letters. So the harf, this is the singular form, and ahruf or huruf, this is the plural form. So ahruf al-mufakhama wal-muraqqaqa, this is the characteristic of these letters. When I call someone is tall, so I said this letter is mufakham, means you pronounce it with full mouth. And the noun is tafkheem. So if you said mufakham or tafkheem, for me the same meaning, but the form is different due to the Arabic language. It doesn't matter to me here in Tajweed. So the huruf al-mufakhama or the heavy letters, the ulama put it in 7 letters, so it become easy for anyone or any student to memorize it. When you memorize it with rhyming way or something, this is easier to memorize them separate. So the 7 letters that always have tafkheem in Quran is called khussa, dagtin, qidh. If it's difficult, just keep repeating or until we practice the letters. If someone don't know how to say, especially the second, it's okay for now. Try your best, and inshallah, by time it will be easy. So khussa, when I said khussa, means the kha and sad. Da'tin, the dad, ghayn and ta. And as you notice, when I say da, there is running sound in the ghayn. I don't say daqtin because many, like in Fatiha, they say غير المغضوبي. Maghdubi, this is not the place of the letter ghayn. He pronounces the ghayn like this from the mouth, and the ghayn is deeper, the ghayn from the throat. The ghayn in the throat, there's six letter in the throat, we have to go deeper. So to make it right, you have to feel this running sound in the letter, like the gargling. When I say ah, so when I say غير المغضوب, I have to feel this running sound. I don't say مغضوب. So مغضوب. So when I said the ghayn sakin here, I do the same thing. We will learn later that this is type of characteristic in the letters. When the letter has running sound, this called rakhawa. Or some letters has this characteristic. So I say ضاطن, means the ضاد غين and ta. قض, the same thing. The qaf and dha, the same like ghayn has running sound. I say قض, قض. I didn't cut off the sound and say qid. It will be like dot sound. No, the dha has running sound. The tip of the tongue touches the tip of the teeth. And there is tiny space between the tongue and the teeth to have this running sound. As the dhal is light version from dha. So when I say az, I feel this running sound. When I say av, the same place like dhal, but the sound is heavy due to raising the tongue to the roof of the mouth and pushing the direction of the sound to the roof. So from the first notes that we have to learn when we practice the heavy and light letters, especially the heavy, don't narrow your lips when you pronounce it, because this is from bad concept, or most people learn it like this. They try to give this heaviness with their lips. Okay, so when we do, as you see, the mechanism of heaviness to raise your tongue towards the roof and making the direction of the sound towards the roof, not out. So as we said now, the dal and dha, if I said dal, look to the light letters, is the arrow out of the mouth. I say the sound coming out of my mouth. But when I try to do with dha, I say dha, the same thing, but I open and push the direction to the roof. I didn't say dha or ra. So narrowing this give different sound and not the right sound for the letters. Okay, so don't say ho, ho. It's like giving dhamma sound. Even I am using the camera in this course because movement of the lips is really important and many don't apply it. They circle the lips with heavy letter even without dhamma, although circling the lips or narrowing the lips only with dhamma sound. Even the word dhamma comes from bringing the lips together. This is the literal meaning. So no dhamma if I say boo, tu, hu, any letter from alphabet. If I pronounce it with dhamma, I have to bring the lips together to the front. When I do this, I leave tiny space in the middle for the sound, of course, to escape from this hole. So boo. When I say a'udhu, I have to bring the lips like this. I don't say a'udhu, a'udhu. The sound is not good and not clear and doesn't give any dhamma sound. But when I say the kha, fatha, kha, dhamma, khu, it's okay because it's dhamma. But when it's fatha, don't say kha. So this gives different sound. It's not the fatha. Kha must be clear. Kha, sa, and not saw. Da, da, gha, ta, qa, dha. So practice. When you practice the 7 letters, try to practice them with pushing the sound to the roof and opening the mouth. Even the word, when we say the letter has fatha, the word fatha means open. Why? Because you have to open your mouth and vertically. Don't open with a smile. Don't say kha, ba. This smiling also is not good when you pronounce any letter with fatha. So when we practice the heavy letters, don't narrow your lips. Number 1. The light letters, don't smile. We don't have a smiling in reading. It's not like when we say the scene, we say say, and if it's sad, so, both of them wrong. So sin and sad, if they have fatha, that means the same opening for both of them. So when I say sin, fatha, sa, open vertical without smile. Sad, fatha, sa, the same opening, but the control or to do it heavy, as you see the picture here, inside the mouth, not from the lips. Of course, the lips sometimes help to give a heavy sound because when you narrow, you imprison the sound inside. So you try to imprison the sound and push it to the roof with your lips. No, try to do this with your tongue. As you see in the picture here, the control inside your tongue. You raise your tongue to imprison the sound, then pushing the sound to the roof of the mouth like this yellow arrows. So the حروف مفخمة or أحرف مفخمة, to study it, repeat it as a song. Say الحروف المفخمة خص ضغط قذ. الحروف المفخمة خص ضغط قذ. Then memorize it as it is like this. The rest will be مرققة. As you see, when we pronounce any light letters, we push the sound out. We don't push it to the roof, and the tongue is not raised. So the tongue not imprison any sound. So that means I say ba, ta, tha, without imprison the sound inside my mouth. So we call this al-ahruf al-muraqqaqa or al-huruf al-muraqqaqa. So you memorize the heavy sound or the heavy letters, al-ahruf al-mufakhama or al-huruf al-mufakhama, or also you could say tafkheem letters, khussa daghtin qid. Then the rest will be in tarqiq. Except some letters in the middle, that we will discuss it later, that has tafkheem and tarqiq sometimes. So this exists in the mad letter. When we say alif mad, the alif mad follow the previous letter. So if the alif mad comes after ba, the alif will be light. I say ba. If the alif mad comes after kha, like khalid, the alif will be heavy. So the alif mad follow the letter before it. If it's heavy, it will be heavy. If it's light, it will be light. Then we have the lam and ra. The lam will be easy because this only exists in the word Allah. The word Allah in Quran, sometimes we pronounce it with heavy lam or lam mufakhama, and sometimes the lam will be light. Like in the Bismillah, we always say Bismillahi, Alhamdulillahi. So this is the light lam. And sometimes we said Rasulullahi. So this is law. So sometimes it's la, other times we pronounce it law. So we will learn when we're supposed to do it light or tarqiq and when we're supposed to do it heavy. Only in this word, other lam in the whole Quran must be light. And light lam in Quran different from the letter L in English, because the letter L we say al, it's heavy and it's not the same articulation point. You roll your tongue. The lam in Quran, the same place like when we pronounce the noon, when I say an, the tip of the tongue touch behind the two front teeth, I say an. In the same place, I say alhamdu, and not alhamdu. So this sound also, I know sometimes it's difficult for the non-Arab, but they have to practice. And the key to practice this, to pronounce the noon from the right articulation point, then you put the lam in the same place to make it lighter, the same like lam. So for this chart, before we move to something else, is it easy? And I hope you write down everything. Practice the حروف مفخمة خص ضغط قذ. If it's not, you could memorize it separate like this, the خاء صاد ضاد غين طاء قاف ظاء. But it's easier, of course, to make it as a mnemonic word or something. خص ضغط قذ. So we start with the rules in the word Allah. We said that two rules concern the word Allah. Allah or Allahumma. Because in some places you will find Allahumma, of course, it's like Ya Allah. So it takes the same rules like Allah. The first notes that we have to learn about both of them, this alif, which is not written, this is hidden alif. Because this is from really common mistake with most of the students. They read it without stretching the lam. This alif, we said we have mad letters, or we have three mad letters, of course, in Quran or in Arabic. The alif, waw, and ya. The alif, like this, we use it to stretch the fatha sound. So if we say ba, fatha, ba, when I put alif after it, that means that the ba will be longer. It will be ba. So the alif used to stretch the fatha sound. The fatha short, the alif long. The same with waw. When I say ba, dhamma, bu, this is one count. When I put the waw, it becomes two. Bu. If I want to stretch the kasra, I put ya. So ba, kasra, bi. This is the short ba. If I want to make it longer, I add ya mad and I say bi. The three mad letters in Quran has no sign. To know the difference between waw or ya with fatha, dhamma, kasra and the mad one or the maddiya one, the mad letters always empty from any harak, no sign on the top. So the alif here make you stretch the lam shadda two vowel counts, but it's not written. So when we stop on this word, sometimes you're supposed to stretch it four. So the student could say lillah. So this is very short. He joined the lam, of course, with the ha. No, you have to remember always that there is alif, but not written in the whole Quran. So the word Allah or the word Allahumma, even when we pronounce it like this, you notice that I stretch the lam two vowel counts. When we say basmala or isti'adha, we say bismillahi. You know, if there is no alif, I supposed to read it bismillahi, lahi. So the lam will be short, then I attach it with the ha direct. But if you hear it from any sheikh, you will find that he stretched two vowel counts. So there is mad, natural mad or mad tabi'i in the word Allah, but not written. So always imagine this alif when you read it to stretch this alif or this lam to vowel counts. Allah or Billah, Alhamdulillahi. So there is 2 vowel counts here. The other rules that concern tafkheem and tarqiq of this lam concern the previous haraka. We look to the previous word. If the previous word has fatha or dhamma on the last letter, as you see here, the tafkheem, I have rasulu, lu. The lam has dhamma. So when I see the dhamma on the lam, I know that the word after it, the word Allah, must be heavy. So I see Rasulullah, la. Don't say la. You can say Rasulullah, Rasulullahi. Or if I stop, of course, I will stretch it. If I stop, I make it 4 counts. I say Rasulullah. Notice here the Dhamma. I want to notice how I do the movement when I read any word, to practice the movement of the lips. So when I say Ra, I open normal. This is the Fatha, Fathul Fam. So any Fatha with Fathul Fam. Then the Sin with Waw Mad, with Lam has Dhamma. So that means I have to bring my lips together when I pronounce the word. Don't say Rasul, Rasul. It's a Rasul, Rasulullahi. The Lam in Rasulu, light. Don't pronounce the Lam heavy due to the letter after is heavy. Don't say Rasulullah, Lullah. Law will be wrong. So separate the sound, or also from the good advice to perfect the reading, always practice the letter separately and make your ear hear it separately. So when your ear hear the letter light and it must be heavy, your ear will tell you no, don't carry on. So deal with the words as separate letters and not a word, because as a word, your brain will tell you you finished this word and you did it. If I say Rasulullah, the lam is heavy, my brain will never recognize it because I said the word Rasul. But when my ear hear the letters, I have to hear the Ra heavy, the Sin, Waw, Lam light. Ra, Sulu, Sulu, Sulu. Sulu is very light. Then move quickly to the lam shadda with heavy letters, with heavy sound. Rasulullah, Rasulullahi. This is the first example. So due to the dhamma on the lam in the word Allah must be heavy or tafkheem sound. The next, the fatha, inna Allah. The same thing, the fatha. So either fatha or dhamma. If you found it before the word Allah, you have to pronounce this lam heavy in the Quran. The other notes, if the letter that has fatha or dhamma is light, don't mix between the both sound. So the same notes here, don't say inna Allah. Inna, na, it will be heavy because you want to move quickly to the lam and the lam is heavy. So inna Allah, inna, wallahi, wa. So this is from common mistake in reading. The why? Because you didn't practice or trained your ear to hear the letters separately. Plus at the beginning, the muscles, as you know, the tongue and our even vocal system, the same like everything, it has muscle. So when you practice these muscles, it becomes stronger, so you have the control and you could do all the things easily. If you ignore this, it will be weak. The ayn from weak letters because it's not exist in the other language. So the place of ayn is weak muscle. So don't say, I don't know Arabic, so I won't be able to do it. No, you just need to make effort and practice more until you make the place of the ayn, the muscle there, very strong, so you will say it easily and you could pronounce it. So no difficult letter in Arabic, you just need to make more effort if it's difficult for you. Some letters are difficult for this person, other letters for other persons. It's not the same letter. The ghain is difficult for some people. Also, you know, we have the 6 letter of the throat, Hamza, Ha, Ayn, Ha, Ghain, Kha. 2 of them, the Hamza and Ha, is easy because they have similar sound in English. The other 4 letters, Ayn, Ha, Ghain, Kha, both of them are difficult. So when you know that this letter not exist in English, you know that you will make more effort to practice them. But don't surrender and say, no, it's difficult, I won't be able to say it. No. SubhanAllah, the rules of Tajweed, if you keep practicing, even if you have problem in some letters, it will be corrected. with repeating. And this has even happened when I was in the class with some people who has problem in the ra or any letter. With lots of repeating, they could pronounce it properly, mashallah. Okay, so for this point, we finish now the tafkheem of the word or the lam in the word Allah if the previous letter has dhamma or fatha. Dhamma or fatha make the lam heavy. The same time, keep the letter light. Inna separated from law. Inna Allaha Rasulullahi. The kasra cause the lam to be light. As we said in the word Bismillah, we say Bismi, me. This is mim kasra. So I say la. I can say Bismillah. So it become Bismillahi. Or if the word, I put this as example because some think it's one word. In Arabic, grammatically, this is two words. The preposition lam, li, and then the word Allah. But because when you add the lam kasra to the word Allah, if you imagine that this word is like this, the lam shamsiya, the lam shadda, if you add lam kasra, it would be 3 lam in front of you. So this is not good in written, and so that's why the lam shamsiya dropped. The lam that has no sign, this is called lam shamsiya, we merge it, so we don't pronounce it. So the lam kasra attached direct to the lam shadda. So that's why it's written like this, but grammatically you have to know this is two words, li and then the word Allah. Like when we say alhamdu lillahi, means praises to Allah. So lillahi, the kasra here caused the lam shadda to be light. Lillahi, bismillahi. So from this, you know that all basmala in the whole Quran, make sure you pronounce the lam light. So 2 notes, you have to learn them when you read any basmala. Pronounce the lam light, and this is because of the kasra on the meme. And don't forget the alif mad tabi'i after the lam, which is not written or it's a hidden lam. The same thing with the word Allahumma, we use this in dua. This is very common when we say any dua, we say Allahumma. And in Quran, there is ayah start with Qulillahumma. So because we start Quli, the lam kasra, in this case, we pronounce the lam light, we say Qulillahumma. We don't say Qulillahumma. So when we see the word Allahumma in Quran, apply the same rules from the mad and the heavy and light. Also for this chart, everything is clear, or if anyone want to ask something?
Clear.
Alhamdulillah. Only you who answered? No one else? I don't see anyone else. So let's move to the next chart. Yes?
Excuse me. Assalamu alaikum. For the lam, for the tafkheem, I want to you to stress a little bit for when and where to do the tafkheem, please. Little bit.
About this word, the word Allah, or in general,
Allah.
that we go back to
No.
the
No, for the Allah. For the Allah.
For the Allah, this is easier. Even the other tafhim and taqit letters, you follow the previous haraka. You see the word Rasulu, the dhamma on the lam cause this lam to be heavy. So you pronounce it heavy if you see dhamma or fatha before the word Allah. If you found the kasra, like bismi, you see the mim has kasra here, so you pronounce it light. So only check the previous letter. Okay, so when you see the word Allah in Quran, try to check the letter before the word Allah. If it's dhamma or fatha, do it heavy lam. If it's kasra, pronounce it light lam. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Any other question? Because we only have less than 10 minutes. So we said that we could leave this time for the question. If any question concerning the rules of Tajweed, anyone want to say it, you could ask me, inshallah. Because I think even the next will be lots of details about Ra. The Ra has many rules, so I think it's better to discuss it next class, inshallah. So we could receive any question.
Assalamu alaikum. I would like to let the viewers know that the fact that today is the first day of this program, the room of suggestion are welcome. whether now or later. And inshallah, every video we have is recorded, and we see the possibility of either editing it and make it available for those who miss it to watch it on the YouTube channel, or maybe put it as it is without any editing. But until then, we would like for you right now to give us any suggestion based on what you have seen so far, whether we should continue this way, or you have anything to add that would help to motivate or help to make it a better class. And also, for your information, sister and Neveen, she's mashallah very expert on these things, and she can take you to higher level. So anything that you feel you want to know is available, but we are just doing it as a trial to see. We don't want to make it too complex. At the same time, if somebody feel like this is a little bit too advanced, there's a possibility of doing a lower level class, so we can go back and start from scratch, teaching the huruf al-hijaiyah. But again, the room, for suggestion is very open. So please, let's use this remaining time for just that. I would suggest there's no need to add any extra lesson for this particular class, but let's just keep the window open for some suggestion, inshallah.
Anyone want to ask something? Because what you will say today or what you will suggest, we will put the plan for the future. In my plan, I hope that we finish the basic rules as I did in my syllabus, to cover all these rules in the 8th surah. After we finish it and we cover the short surah from the back, or even the whole juz amma, if the idea is good and the people like it, we could start to do this with the whole Quran as weekly class. We discuss a page every time or 2 pages. Then inshallah, if Allah accepted this amal, we could finish the whole Quran inshallah with this way. Yes.
Also,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I wanted to ask, are the classes only for Saturdays only, or?
Yeah, for now it will be on Saturday. If this time is not good or what?
No, it's okay. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Let me add something to that question. So right now, the way we are doing this, as far as like doing tajweed, we'll keep it for any time between 4 weeks to 8 weeks to see what we need to adjust. And if we feel like there's a need to continue forever, we will. But if from today, the door of people submitting their names for learning the Quran is not just the tajweed, is open. So if you want to just join this school to learn how to read the Quran, or even if you already know how to read, but to use the platform for memorizing the Quran, so we have that window open. So it's just a matter of taking names and making a decision on scheduling it and going forward for that. So yes, there's multiple options that we're going to open. So if you have any need of that, inshallah, you can contact us later. You can check our website to contact us directly, and then we go from there. And when we gather a number of people, then we decide which way to go, inshallah.
Last note about the beginner. If anyone in the beginner level or don't know the letters of alphabet, I already put it in this course in my channel, Tajweed Guide to Read Write Book 1. So I started already from the scratch. So you could start it from the alphabet, how we say the name and how to pronounce it. So just search for the Tajweed Book Part 1 or the Tajweed Guide to Read Write, and you'll find all the lesson here. This is for this part, so we don't need to waste more time in the class. This is
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Sorry, I think it was my microphone. Jazakallah, Sister Neveen. Yeah, my issue I think was if you can maybe just recap on the letters a little bit, and then you move on to what you did today. I think that would have been good, because we don't know the level of the students that you have in the class, and I think that was
recommended that we start from the alphabet next. We try to read them quickly as a recap.
Yeah, exactly. And then you tell us, no, these are heavy, these are light, because as much as you're teaching us, you don't know at what level all the
Yeah,
students that
yeah.
you have.
And I know the difficulty about the group classes. You can't hear each single student how he recited. So at least we try to focus how to repeat the letters together. But it's okay if this okay with everyone, we could do it. I don't want to do it in case if someone know already or have background about rules, so he don't want to feel bored and feel that he already know these things. So is it okay if everyone agreed with this? So we start a revision as a revision for all the alphabet, how to do it heavy and light.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I
Alaikum
just
salam.
want to say, this is Naila. Thank Allah Barak Sheikh, both of you, for doing this. It's such a huge benefit. I would say, I think the brother's question, Brother Hussein, is excellent. What I would ask, if people can maybe go between today and the next week to the YouTube so that they can see how you've laid out going over the individual alphabet letters, so that, as you mentioned, there may be some people here in the group that already know the letters, right? So if we can continue going on with the way Ustada Neveen has prepared with the basics, then we don't have to slow down and hold up everyone else that may already know. So if you can take a look at her YouTube channels, which are very extensive, and they go into quite a lot of detail for very beginner basic. So if you can take a look at that, and if you still feel that you need to be able to have her live go through the alphabets, then, you know, of course, Ustad Naveen and the brother, you guys can decide if you want to add that into the curriculum for us. But I would just suggest humbly, if you all can just take a look at the YouTube channel, I think you'll have the answers that you're looking for whatever your individual needs may be. I think she already has videos on YouTube that will address it.
I agree with that 100%. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Then maybe
inshallah we
sister.
could, yes.
Maybe what I would also suggest, you know, sister, you talked about the A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. If I thought maybe you can just give us a tip on how to recite it, because you just mentioned the rules, but you did not recite it for us
No,
in the
not
right
yet.
way.
When I finish, be
Okay.
patient. I didn't finish
Okay.
anything. We're still discussing the rules inside this isti'adha. That's it. We will
Okay.
discuss the ra rules inside isti'adha. We will discuss the rules of مد عارض للسكون. So we discuss the rules of the, as we said, the definite articles. What is the difference between lam shamsiyya and lam qamariyya? What is the hamzatul wasl? So since you understand each rules in the isti'adha, when you read it, it will be easy. But when I read it now, you don't know why I skipped this lam, what is this hams wasl, and why they wrote it down in the Quran if you don't know the rules of hams wasl before. So I just give you the details, and then inshallah, of course, I will repeat isti'adha and you repeat after me to finish it completely with everything. Then we started the basmala. At the beginning, I don't know the rate, is it slow or is it okay? But because this is the base of everything. When we learn all the basic rules, we could move faster. As we said, if it's okay and we finish all these things, we could do like 1 or 2 pages every week from the Quran, starting from Al Fatiha, inshallah, until we finish the whole Quran. Allah accepted this amal, inshallah. So any other question?
So can you put your details on here on the chat so that we can get in touch with you?
So you could search for this or take a screenshot to search it, Neveen Essam-Aldeen, and when you click to this channel, you will click on the playlist, because many also, subhanAllah, I found that even some people don't know how to listen to the videos in order. So I put it or classify it in the playlist. So each playlist has different category or lesson. So in the playlist, when you click on it, as you see here, the playlist, if I clicked, you will find this called Tajweed Guide to Read Write Book 1 and Tajweed Course for Adults. So go to this playlist. There's other playlists, you could watch them later, but at least start from this one, because in this one I start from the scratch. I will start with the name of the letters and differentiate between the letters name When we say Sin, this is the name. But when we say Sa, Si, Su, this is the sound. So we have to learn the difference between the name of each letter of the alphabet and the sound of these letters. When we read, we're using the sound with Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra. But when we start the Huruf al-Muqatta'a, inshallah, when we reach to these letters like Surah, the beginning of Yasin or Alif, Lam, Mim, this called the Huruf al-Muqatta'a. In Huruf al-Muqatta'a, we use the name of the letters and not the sound. So that's why from the beginning, it's better to learn it properly. It's better to learn it without Hamza in the Huruf al-Hija or the alphabet. It's both of them exist. So I could say ba'un or ta'un or ba, as I think some of you maybe learn it like this in other places, but I don't recommend this when we start my syllabus, because when you pronounce it with Hamza, if we start the huruf al-muqatta'a, the student can't read it properly. So when we say yasin, we don't say ya'un sinun. So we don't say it like this. So the way that we teach the name of the letters is the same as we read it in the huruf al-muqatta'a and in Quran. So we said the letter ya, the letter ta, and not ta'un. So the one with Hamza is called mahmuz, al-huruf al-hija mahmuza, not used in Quran. It's not wrong, but it's not used. So from the beginning, I wanted the student to use the right way and how to use it in Quran, so later he don't get confused. This is one problem, because I found it already in some students. The other things that when we pronounce the letter with fatha at the end of the word, the student close it with hamza sound, because he used it to learn this letter like this. So this is also from other problem when you learn these letters with hamza at the end. So in the videos, I will start with the name of these letters from the beginning and how to say ba, ta, tha without hamza at the end, and focus on the heavy and light. Also, when you say kha, this is not heavy. So I don't want to hear the sound. I want you to practice exactly as I said it in the video. When I say kha, like when we say Khalid, Khalid ibn al-Walid, we don't say Khalid. Khalid, we use it like this in Ammiya or in our language, but this is not right in Quran. All the kha, fatha in Quran is full mouth. As we said, tafkheem letters, kha. So practice the letters in the video, with keep repeating. At the beginning you feel it's difficult or you can't say it, but Quran need repeating. So just repeat the videos many times, and as we said, listen as a teacher. Try to think, if you are saying the same thing information in the video, how you will say it. If you're able to explain this again, if you have a friend or your kids or something and be able to explain to them and they understand it from you, that means you understand the lesson. If you can't say or repeat again what I said, that means you need to listen again to the video. The same time, if the letters not heavy and light, that means you need to repeat it. So when we say the letters with darasa, this is a spelling of the letters with fatha. We do it with like Nur al-Bayan or Qaida Nuraniya. So you say dal fatha, da, ra fatha, ra, da, ra. And then you practice to attach the first with the second letter. So if you don't join it with this contrast, it's useless. Don't say darasa. Darasa, the three letters are light. Or if you say darasa, that means that the three letters are heavy. No, practice to say it as a tone like this. Da light, ra heavy, sa light, da, ra, sa. So feel this contrast in any word you are reading and analyze the word. How many heavy letters in the word? How many light? The light, you keep your tongue down. This tongue must be with the same level of your teeth. When I say ba, ba, don't raise it. If you feel any part from the tongue raised, this give heavy sound. And then the heavy letter, the opposite. You raise it like this. Ra, ra. You see all the sound inside. So when you pronounce the light letters, keep your tongue down. Don't raise any part from the tongue. From the difficulty, I know it will be with some people, especially the Pakistani or the Indian people or anyone learn with a non-Arab teacher, they don't have heavy and light. So the light letters could be ba, ta, ja. This is not right sound, of course. So you practice to do it as it is in the video or as you hear the ayah from the sheikh. It's not the way of the sheikh, it's the way of the letters. So don't think the sheikh say it like this because it's his way or his sound or his tone. No, this is the right sound. So when you say ba, this is not right. This is not exist in Arabic. But when you pronounce it light, it must be ba, ta, like this. And since you know how to say one light letter, the rest will be the same. We measure the rest on the same letter because the ending is one thing. So when we said fatha on the ba, ba, so this you put it at the end of all the light alphabet. So the same ending, I will put it with ayn. I say because ayn from difficult letter, they say it's not heavy. Okay, so inshallah, practice as much as you could. The more effort that you do, you will save time, and we could go further quickly, inshallah, so we don't waste the time of the other student who has background. So I think this answer everything. Any other question? So inshallah, we meet again next week.
We can wrap it up.
I hope, inshallah, if you message me or message the brother to give us your review, what you recommend or something for next week, inshallah. Also, all my details in the channel you will find always in the description, the WhatsApp number.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then your contact information, can we find your contact information on the website, the app?
Yes. Actually, I'm missing that page myself here. So just be patient with me. Go to Abuyaasir Institute. You'll find all my contact information there. Yes. In all our videos, every single video we have, it has my number there. Even the video for this class, it has my number on there.
Okay. Barakallahu fi.
So inshallah, I hope all of you come next week and see you again in the next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Jazaakumullahu khair for attending. Please, we ask you to spread the message, for the link and for all the message information you have to other people. So in the next class, we have more people, maybe inshallah, more people will benefit from it. And this one, inshallah, we're going to post this because I'm sure some people might not available and they would like to see what we have. So inshallah, we're going to make the video available in both channels.
Inshallah. Okay.
Yes,
Inshallah.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it beneficial for all of us. Anything right and good is from Allah, anything wrong is from us. May Allah forgive us all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazaakumullahu khair.
Wa iyyakum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.